Hi YouTubers. I'm going to show you this little thing because it's very important, and I want to show you close up and personal. Now I'm going to cover this, of course, at the workshop, but I want to show you in this camera because the camera has a nice close-up lens too. Now look here. What I'm doing is I'm using this polishing cloth, and this is a connoisseur's gold jewelry polishing cloth, and the inside's very dark. 2 ounce, I thought it was. It's a 2 ounce. It's made by Vaughan, V-A-U-G-H-A-N, Vaughan. Fine tools since 1869. Sorry, super steel, made in USA. You can get one that's Swiss. You can get one that's Swedish. You can get one that's German. It isn't very big, but when you put one of my magic pearls in there, here we go. All right. So when you put one of my magic pearls in, which is this thing, you get a strand of these pearls. And this pearl is very similar to the pearls that were around in the Mediterranean around the turn of the millennium, but it would be the first millennium we're talking about. Now, it goes on like that. And so it just stays shell money. In Sumer, for instance, Sumerians had shell money. So this is a little, just a little tiny ancient style, see? It's just a little tiny ancient style piece. And what we're going to do now is we have several options. That makes this ready to receive a number of different things. One thing you can put in here, for instance, is a clip, an ear clip. Now the ear clip, you'll notice that this little round thing here, this loop, that doesn't open up. You can't open this now. You've got that permanently sealed. But this has a little loop that does open up, and you can open that and put it on there. So you have a clip potential. The other possibility that you might want to exercise for your customer is a post, ball, ring, and nut combination, which goes on like this. Now, that can be had in a variety of different configurations and all sorts of different ways. Then there is the standard ear wire, standard e-wire, of all the things not to have. I don't have a standard e-wire, but it's a little French wire. And but I'll make one for you, just show you how this is done. This is kind of a tricky little thing. Here's the tools that you're going to need. I'll show you all the tools that you will need in order to do the workshop with me. You ready? Here's the tools you need to do this workshop. Number one, you need needle nose pliers. I can get you some and send them to you. I have no idea how much they'll cost. My needle nose pliers cost me $85 each. I have 2 of them because I very often will use one against the other, but you can start out with just one. I have, in my particular set, a Lindstrom flush cutter. Real nice, small flush cutter. It gets really in there and does the job just great. You have to keep this sharp, and you have to treat it with great respect. That's a Lindstrom. They're about $100, $85 to $100, depending upon where you buy it, depending upon when you buy it. You're also going to need a steel block like this to hammer onto, see? Or you're going to need a piece of rail like this from the mines, from the old mines. And I'm going to take some out of our mine once we get up there. But in the meantime, this is not on the market at all. You can't find that. So what you can find, however, are these little goodies, and they're terrific. What this is goes in like this. Yeah, just keep it together like that. This is a little desk model vise, and it will go right onto your desk like this. It just clamps onto your desk like that. It makes a wonderful thing like this. And then there's a wooden piece here too, which you can use to form and so forth, or just take the wooden piece out and use just the metal piece. So that's a really handy thing. Then you're going to need a roll or 2 of copper wire. Alambre de cobre, fil de cuivre is what it says here. This is 20 gauge. You want 20 gauge and only 20 gauge, and you want it to be Well, copper wire. And this is a copper wire you'll find in the hardware, not in the electric. In the hardware department, in your hardware store, your builder's store, or anything like that. It's not electrical wire, it's called grounding. Oh, it is electrical. It's called grounding wire, but it's in the hardware department. It costs you about $6.50, $7 a roll. Then you're going to need a strand of these special pearls, these special drill pearls. And a strand of these things normally costs $40, and I have them at $30. And if you want the larger one that I use, which is a professional strand right here, that is going to cost you $80 a strand. So that's a little bit more money. But this is a wonderful, slightly smaller, it's just a millimeter or two smaller, pearl is perfect for what you want to start out doing. Okay, you're going to make things like this with these things. These are pearls that are used in various really fun projects. So you'll find it's a great asset to have those pearls. Then you're going to want to have something like this teardrop. Now you can go to your local bead store and you can buy whatever you like in the way of long beads, tube type beads. This happens to be not a tube but a teardrop. There is a difference. The difference is about $20 to $30 a strand. So you can get some very cheap beads to practice with, which is what I recommend. Plastic beads are fine. And work with the copper and don't buy anything else. Or you can also, you might want to buy some of these copper round beads. There really is no need because you can make your own of these things. I'll show you how to do that in the class. And then these head pins, again, you don't have to buy these. I can show you how to make these so easily that they're just ridiculous to buy. Okay? So, things you actually need, you need a hammer. This is a 2-ounce ball peen. You gotta have it. Gotta have it. You're going to need something to hammer onto. It's a steel block, a rail, or a vise. You're going to need a pair of pliers, needle nose pliers, jewelry type. Please don't use the kind that are used in electricians. It's the wrong thing. It'll score all your metal and destroy everything. Lindstrom cutters if you can afford them. If you can't afford them, get what you can. It's a flush cutter. And what is a flush cutter? It's very simple. The client side of the metal, you have your side and the client side. You have the client side of the metal, and that is flush cut, which means it's less likely, only less likely, not impossible, less likely to snag and catch on a cashmere sweater, which is what you're trying to avoid. You're not trying to avoid cutting somebody. That won't happen. What will happen is it'll catch on a cashmere sweater, and you'll be up for $1,500 for a stupid sweater. So you don't want to be having that liability. Therefore, you take every precaution to make sure that your customer is protected. Now, let's see. The beads, as I said, can be anything from these, which are teardrop, to tube beads, which are straight tubes. And I don't have any right here to show you, but I use them from time to time, not often. And one thing I will demonstrate to you is how to make your own copper beads, so you don't have to buy copper beads. And of course, this all translates into silver and into 14, 18, and 22 karat gold. All of these techniques translate easily into those things, those areas. So every metal, although it has its own characteristics, every metal will work pretty much the same. Some of them are harder to work, some of them are easier to work, and so forth. And we'll talk about the advantages of dead soft and that kind of thing in the workshop. The whole weekend, and we're going to do nothing but jewelry, excavation stuff, and mining, gold mining, and panning for gold, and learning how to do it. I have a technique where you can do it at home to learn how to pan for gold. And I will show you what you need. Actually, I give you a kit. I send you a kit. I send you a special gold pan, which is different from any other gold pan, and I send you some learning gold. It's student gold, it's called, which will stay in the pan for you and work for you. But it's called student. And by the way, order soon for your kit so that you'll be able to attend the workshop and do the things with us, not merely watch, but actually do the things with us. So, let me review one more time. You need a hammer. You need something to hammer on. You need a cutter, and a flush cutter is better. You need a pair of jewelry type needle nose pliers. You need some beads. You need some center beads or for long beads. You need wire. That whole kit here I will post for you so that you will see it and you'll see exactly what you need. Pardon me. You'll see exactly what you need, and you'll be able to either acquire it for yourself there or have me ship it out to you. It's a lot simpler, a lot easier if you yourself can acquire it. So I'm going to help you do that so you'll be able to get the things locally. It starts on the 24th. If you want to get there on Friday, a couple of things might be happening on Friday, but Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, those are the days, and we'll be covering jewelry making, basic jewelry making, which you'll learn just from scratch. And in order to do that, you'll have to acquire the entire kit, because you can't work without one of those elements. So I'll tell you what elements they are once again. You need a hammer. This is a 2-ounce ball peen. You need a jewelry grade pair of needle nose pliers. You'll need something to hammer on, which will be either a block or a rail or some kind of little vise, steel vise. You need the special beads, Gorby beads, the Gorby pearls, I mean. And you will need, if you want to use them, you will need the teardrops, or you'll need some kind of tube. You do not need any of these things that you get at commercial stores. Don't buy any of that stuff. The thing you need in copper is just a roll of 20 gauge copper. Now, can you get away with just a regular hammer? Sure you can. Can you get away with just a regular screwdriver, a regular pair of pliers? No. But a regular pair of needle nose pliers, sure, you're going to score the hell out of the metal, but yeah, you can use them to start to learn with. Do you need a block like this? No, you don't. You need anything that you can pound on and that doesn't collapse underneath that. You need a flush cutter, which is little clippers, wire dikes, but you don't need Lindstroms. You can use anything, and it doesn't have to be flush cut to learn with, but if you want to have somebody wear them, it better be flush cut or you're going to cut the hell out of somebody. That is all you need really to get started, and it's not a lot of gear to get an entire jewelry shop together. Think about it, because you can make thousands of dollars every week by going to shows, going to fairs, and doing this in front of people. They love it. They'll line up to watch you. And you can make custom things for each person. What would you like? What would you like? What would you like? And so forth. You have all the parts there, and they can choose the parts, select the parts. You can have, here's some strands of, here you go, Suramatum. I have these things here. Which one would you like to have on your ring? Which would you like to have in your earrings, and so forth? What size would you like? What color would you like? You can make all that happen very easily by using my instant jewelry. By using my instant jewelry store. It's a shop. It's a shop that you can set up in seconds. You can store it in your car. You put a luggage boot. You can store it in a little tiny box. You bring the things out and you start selling like crazy. You do. This is carnelian. It's gorgeous carnelian. This is drop-dead gorgeous carnelian. And it's 10 millimeters. Hard to find. I have sources for these things, and I'm going to make sure that you have access to all the stuff that I have access to. So you're going to have a lot of fun doing this, but you also can make a great deal of money at it. These are big bangle earrings, you see? And what I've done with these, little things like that are going to be wonderful for you. Here's a ring that's wrapped around, this wire wrapped around a meteorite. There's so many things you can do with wire. So we'll see you at the workshop. Don't forget May 24th, 25th, 26th. Those are the dates.